ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasure to be here with you in this wonderful building which is linked to our past, and we are here in order to prepare the future. And I would like to thank the Belgian presidency to have organized our meeting on this European Civil Justice Day. So it's a very strong symbol. And it is also a very strong symbol that you have chosen for the title of your day to create citizens' rights, and how this is in the center of what you are doing and of what I am doing, in fact. Because, you see, people matter. I must not tell that to you, because you, in your day-to-day relationship with people, know how different each individual is and how much each individual likes to participate in the building up of our European continent. Now, it has been in the 50s when we started this whole adventure. People were excited to belong to Europe because for them Europe was getting out of war, getting out of poverty, getting out of this horror story which our history has been for many centuries. It was a guarantee for peace and prosperity, and that was what kept the people together then, in the 1950s. We all have to ask ourselves, what will keep them together today? Because many, most of all the young generation, knows about the 1950s only from a history book, if ever they come in school until the 1950s. But so we have to invent a new Europe, invent new summits to keep people together. Many people unfortunately believe that Europe is about institutions. Others believe that Europe is about economy, about finance. But you and me, we not only believe, we know it is about people. It is about human beings. And it is about the daily life of those people. And you might have certainly hundreds of times explained what Europe has done for them, for safer food products, for common standards for medicines, for safety, for place for the children, for protecting consumer rights, for making bathing water clean, for having a passport-free travel. All this is true, but all this is taken for granted. And I believe we must better explain that all this Europe has given to our citizens, and to better explain, to make it more evident. Here we do have the Treaty of Lisbon. The Treaty of Lisbon, which is a real watershed. It underscores the vital role of citizens in advancing the European project, and it gives us the object of creating a real citizens' Europe. And we have this wonderful Charter of Fundamental Rights. I always say to those people who say that our texts are not readable, say, read this one. It is a wonderful piece of European political literature. It's the most fascinating, most modern codification of rights in the world. And I believe that if you speak with people on the phone or if you communicate with them, tell them to read the Charter of Fundamental Rights. I speak with the ministers of education, tell them that each child in school should read the Charter of Fundamental Rights. It should be a book which will be in each library of our families. It is so strong about what we are, what we believe, what are our visions, and what are our rights, and what are our dreams. And it is legally binding, so we will need to apply it in real terms. And then this new treaty and I always quote it because it makes a whole difference with the treaties before and the treaties now. I see here a colleague from the European Parliament. Well, the definition of what a European parliamentarian is quite different in the old treaties and in the new Treaty of Lisbon. Before, the member of European Parliament represented a state. Now it represents the people. And alone the choice of the words makes a whole difference. It shows us that things have changed, that things are different, that we have to work on building this real Europe of the citizens. Not only because there is a citizen initiative, but also because the rights of the individual as citizens are in the forefront of our treaties. And that is also one of the reasons why President Barroso has created the new portfolio for justice, fundamental rights and citizenship. It was not existing before. It couldn't have existed before because we didn't have the tools. Now we do have the tools. Now we do have the possibilities to put this citizen Europe into practice. And you see, it is not about great ideas, about big speeches, but it is about a puzzle. Many small pieces being put together in order to create the whole mosaic. Many small decisions which eliminate those obstacles our citizens feel when they are traveling, when they are residing in another member states. You know that there are among 12 million European citizens who do not live in their member state of origin. And they are coming across a whole question of difficulties, barriers, when they want to study and they want their diplomas to be recognized, when they want to work and they want their qualifications to be recognized, when they want to have access to justice, when they want to get the administrative papers, and so on and so forth. Thousands of discriminatory ways of treating the citizens. So we have a lot of work in front of us. And we know that the citizens want us to do this work because they are speaking to you when they are calling you, when they are on the email with you. They are speaking to you about these day-per-day problems they have. And half of them are put off by those problems for moving to another member state. Well, only look at the figures on the internet. Nearly all our citizens are handling the internet. They do have an internet at home, but only a tiny 12% of them feel secure in making cross-border transactions on the internet. That tells everything. That tells that citizens are feeling those barriers. They are afraid of going to the neighboring country, of engaging into a contract. And I think that's a shame, and we should do everything that they feel free. In 2007, roughly 9 million EU citizens were engaged in cross-border procedures related to civil justice. However, if we see the Eurobarometer results, we see that more than half of European citizens still believe they will run into tremendous problems when they need to have access to civil justice in other member states. So here again, we have the agenda in front of us. Get rid of those difficulties. Do that people, wherever they travel, wherever they work, wherever they settle, feel at ease. Because they know, yes, I have right to justice. Yes, I will have access. Yes, I will have somebody who is going to speak my language. So we have really to look at those difficulties people face.